Hi everyone and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And today I want to combine transition with impact and what that feeling is. From when we land in the ground with your front foot to what it feels like to get into that impact position and how your left hip works and how those two work together. So first off, let's kind of clear up a few things of what transition is and what that should feel like and what impact should feel like before we try to marry the two. So the first thing I'll go over is what transition is. Okay, so as I swing back, okay, and my hip socket gets out of the way and the club is still actually moving back, I transition to my left side. So by the time the club gets all the way up to the, if you want to call it top of the swing or transition point up there, you're already loaded up to your left side, so now you can push and get into impact. Okay, so that's what transition would be, is when you change directions. So if I swing back and land here and go, back, land and go. So now we need to match up what that feels like with impact. Okay, so what impact is, again, I'll get my grip here. If I just set up, impact is when this leg pushes back. Okay, my right arm gets on the side of the shaft. You can see my hands go up just a little bit because of the weight of the club is pulling on this arm. This arm is on the back of the shaft. And you can even see that this thigh rolls in. I'm almost starting to roll in because of how that left hip is working. So if we're set up here, impact is left hip socket back. I can feel my right side move because of this left hip socket, and my arm gets on the back of the shaft right here. Okay, so now we're trying to figure out, and we're trying to combine the land with impact. So there's a few things that go on there. So again, if I were to set up and I start to just make some little ones, I'm just going to take the club back just a little bit. So just enough so I can transition and feel how I land and go to impact. So I'd have you take the club just a couple feet, land and go to impact. Land and go to impact and just chip it out there. So if we get ready to go here. Okay, so we're just going to take the club back just a couple feet and land into impact. Okay, so now I can start to feel I've got almost a little bend there. My right arm is right on the side of the shaft. And once I land, see, I push back. So as I push back, it makes room for my right arm to get right into the back of the ball there. Okay, let's do that again. So you can even make some swings where you start to feel, this is a great way to start out every day, is just identifying kind of the transition, the feeling in your feet, the feeling in your arm, and where you want to be at impact. So once we get going back here again, just a couple feet here, and I start to feel how this club is trailing in, I can feel where the face is. Boy, I really get many good feels and kind of can check some things off my list of what I want going on here. So as I swing back and I land, right, I can feel where the face is, correct. It's coming from the inside, it's square, and that pushes, and I can feel how my arm gets on the back of the ball. So as I do that again, so it's back, land, and into the ball. And that's how I would start every single day. Obviously, this is the most important part of the swing, and then we can start to build it from there. So now as you start to swing back a little farther, you can feel how your right hip socket starts to get out of the way, land, impact. So we'll go back a little farther now. Make some swings. Always check where impact is, good. So I start to go back a little farther, land, impact. Back, land, impact. So it starts to give me a really good feeling of what I need to do to get into the ball. Back, land, impact. Okay, now we'll go a little bit bigger. So now all of a sudden, as the swing starts to get a little bit bigger and my backswing gets a little bit bigger, now I get to start to feel how my right hip starts to get out of the way. Now I've got a little bit more leverage into my leg here when I land, and now I'm keep starting to feel what that impact feels like. So as we get a little bit bigger now, start to feel how hip socket gets out of the way. That drives me into landing. And now I can start to feel impact. Okay, get ready to go. Okay, now a little bit bigger swing. So it really starts to give me some rhythm, starts to give me some tempo, and it starts to get me to feel how these hips and how I start to use the ground to get in, obviously, into the most important part of my swing there. But again, I would start out small and make sure that you can hit some shots on line at a very short distance first. You know, this is an 8-iron, and you know, we started out with probably 50, 60-yard shots just to feel. Again, we always want to make sure that you can feel from here to here what it's like coming into the ball, landing and getting into impact. Landing and getting into impact. So now we'll go a little bit bigger, almost into my full swing. You start to see my hip socket gets out of the way, land and into impact. Do that one more time. So start off small and start to expand how you feel, how you start to feel the transition work, how you land, and how your impact, all those things kind of start to come together. Again, we've got to start small and expand it and do it at a slower pace so it just becomes a reaction. You want to do this enough where you start to feel that it almost takes nothing when you get out on the golf course and you can just react to this golf ball, you can react to your target. That's when you're really going to start hitting some really good shots, take the pressure off out there, hitting more fairways and greens, and really playing your best golf. Hi everyone, like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf, for all tips on golf. If you'd like a live lesson or want to send me a message, visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com.